never stops. You give us 22 minutes, we'll give you the world.
Here's the news in rock. June 11th, Wednesday, 10:15 a.m. Brian Wilson, Beach Boys, founding member, the brains behind the band, the genius, Mr. Brian Wilson, dead at the age of 82 years old.
Yes, may I help you?
Is there a Brian Wilson here?
Yeah, he's upstairs in his room. Why?
We got a citation for him, ma'am. Excuse me.
We'll find him.
Thank you. Certainly is nice up here in Bel Air. A lot cooler up here than it is downtown. Let's see. Let's try this one here. Are you Brian Wilson?
Yes, I am.
Good afternoon, Mr. Wilson. We're from the Highway Patrol, Surf Squad.
Hello.
Brian, we have a citation here for you, sir, under Section 936A of the California Catch a Wave Statute. Brian, you're in violation of paragraph 12. Failing to surf, neglecting to use a state beach for surfing purposes, and otherwise avoiding surfboards, surfing, and surf.
Surfing? I don't want to go surfing. Now, look, you guys, I'm not going. You get your hair wet, you get sand in your shoes. Okay, I'm not going.
Come on, Brian. Let's go surfing now.
Everybody's learning how. Come on a safari with us. Come on.
Let's go.
All right. Okay, let's go. Let's go surfing.
This is sad. This is sad. A musical genius. I want you guys to start a conversation with me. Post it in the comments. There's a live chat going on. If you missed the live chat, shame on you. I want your memories, your favorite songs. Just now popped up here. My buddy Chuck Shoot from the Chuck Shoot podcast just sent me this notification that Brian Wilson had passed away. So thanks, Chuck. But it's all over now. The news of USA Today is saying Brian Wilson, Beach Boys co-founder, God only knows genius, dies at 82. The New York Times is talking about it. Brian Wilson, songwriter and leader of the Beach Boys, dies at 82. The Washington Post, Brian Wilson, singer, songwriter who created the Beach Boys, dies at 82. A musical genius, a legend, a tortured life, like most artists. But yeah, this is a funny clip. Let's check this out really quick. The man who wrote Times. All right, everybody. I am Steph, you guys are all beautiful. So let's talk. Let's remove this really quick. Who's here in the chat? Let's discuss his career right here. I'm going to post your comments up here. Robbie, Detroit. Wow, wow, wow. I've seen it all now. Yeah, my friend, right here. Genos, if there's not love present, it's much, much harder to function. When there's love present, it's easier to deal with life. Brian Wilson. Beautiful words. JD, is he the last member of the Beach Boy dead? No. There's still members alive. Mike Love's alive. There's a bunch of them alive still. You might mean of the brothers, Carl Wilson, Dennis Wilson, and Brian. I think they're all passed away, if I'm not mistaken. Dennis was one of my favorites. What a voice Dennis Wilson had. Rest in peace, Brian, a great musician. Absolutely. Love is the answer. Absolutely. I put some clips together really quick, but his family went to social media, just posted this right here. Let's take a look at the post that they just posted right here. Brian Wilson live on Instagram. You could go to the site, check it out. It's just posted. We are heartbroken to announce that our beloved father, Brian Wilson, has passed away. We are at a loss for words right now. Please respect our privacy at this time as our family is grieving. We realize that we are sharing our grief with the world. Love and mercy. Absolutely. Absolutely. Very sad. If you're tuning in right now, a legend, a genius, Mr. Brian Wilson of the Beach Boys, dead at the age of 82. The man who wrote all the songs. He even brought sand to his living room. He brought it in the living room to be creative. Brian Wilson, a genius. Let's check out some videos here, right here. But, Brian also, as great as he was in the 60s, the Beach Boys and the Beatles, there's some creative things going on there. They both inspired each other. And here's a clip I took off the internet and I want to share with you guys. Bam.
You heard I want to hold your hand.
Oh, I was so jealous. I was jealous of the Beatles. I couldn't believe how jealous I was of the Beatles. I couldn't believe it. I was so jealous.
With every new single, were you more jealous?
No, actually, we got rolling a little bit on our own thing too, so it was pretty cool.
Do you remember the first time you heard I Want to Hold Your Hand?
I sure do. I was at my mother-in-law's house in West Hollywood, California, and they go, and here they are from England, from London, England, the Beatles. I want to hold your hand, and everything. Oh, I just couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it.
She Loves You was the next one.
Oh, She Loves You was fantastic.
From Me to You.
From Me to You, I saw her standing there. Anyway, it was a trip running across the Beatles. We were kind of like rivals, but we turned each other on. You know, it was like we inspired each other to do better. Before the Beatles and the Beach Boys, everything was just Moon and June, but we gave it a new twist in the sound.
Do you remember the first time you heard Rubber Soul?
I remember I heard it sometime in 1965. 1965, yeah. Late 1965. And I was smoking pot. I just tripped out on that album. I said, that's the coolest album I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah.
It blew me out so much. It sounded like a collection of Beatle folk songs. That's the best way I can describe it. Kind of like Beatles. I don't know, just something very special how all the songs kind of were like a collection of songs that belong together, like Pet Sounds.
That's right. Pet Sounds, one of my favorite albums. Mr. Brian Wilson passed away at the age of 82 years old. The co-founder, the primary songwriter of the Beach Boys, has died. The family just announced it on social media right here. And it's very sad. I mean, Brian, as much as he loved the Beatles, he influenced a lot of people in the generations of musicians in pop and beyond. Very sad. Our condolences to his family, his friends, and of course you, the fans. I want you to post down below your favorite Beach Boys song and what they mean to you and the memories that it brought to you. Or do you have a memory of a time in your life of going to the beach? Let's go to the comments right here. I'm going to put some more clips and interviews of Brian talking in a second, but let's see who's here. Brian was so cool. Yep. EM, the Beatles loved you. Yeah, they did. Good to see you. M, is it M? M, nice to meet you. We love the BB and England. We brought you the Beatles. Yeah, you did. I'm actually going to be going to Liverpool, and I'm going to do a whole vlog of the Beatles and the history, and I'm going to meet up with Pete Best's brother Rogue, and I'm going to bring all that content here. So make sure you keep notifications tab when we go live, and subscribe to the channel if you have not for future episodes. Daniel, remember how crazy Phil Spector trying to get the Brian Wilson sound? Yeah. And Pet Sound, she says, Daniel, one of the most remarkable songwriters ever. Absolutely. Absolutely. Pet Sounds was one of my favorites. Let's go over here. Brian is now with his brothers. Yeah. Dennis, Carl, they're all together. I did some vlogs, and I'll put it up here, of Dennis Wilson's, the location where he passed away. So make sure you click on that when the screen ends here. And also I haven't edited yet. I went to the birth home where they grew up, the Beach Boys, Brian, Dennis, and I will do a video of that for you guys. But this is sad. This is just raw. It just came out right now. The sad breaking news: Brian Wilson has passed away, and at the age of 82 years old. If you're just coming into the channel, this is really sad. His family just announced it. Born in Inglewood, California, Brian formed the band originally called the Pendletones as a teenager with his brothers Dennis and Carl and their cousin Mike Love and high school friend Al Jardine. The first song that they did record was Surfin'. That was released on Candix Records, who changed the band's name to the Beach Boys without the members' permission, which is pretty wild. Put some notes here, liner notes, so we could follow Brian, remember Brian's story. So how about that? The company, they changed the name of the band without their permission. But it was sometimes you'd get pissed about that, but what a great name, the Beach Boys. I actually got to see the Beach Boys play at Aqueduct Racetrack 1979, and Dennis Wilson was still alive. It was an excellent concert, and Dennis sang You Are So Beautiful. It was something. A year later, the band signed with Capitol to release their debut Surfin' Safari. The following year, they did Surfin' USA And that became the Beach Boys' first U.S. top 10 single. In 63, the band released 3 albums, Surfin' USA, Surfer Girl, Little Deuce Coupe. By then, Wilson had started his career as a producer for other musicians, which you could hear all the sounds of the Beach Boys. Acts like Jan and Dean, um, Sharon Marie. There's many others that I'm trying to think of the top of my head. In 64, Brian Wilson decided to stop touring. In 1964, think about that, with the Beach Boys after experiencing a panic attack due to the band's heavy schedule. He focused on his production, and in 65, he started work on the landmark experimental pop album Pet Sounds. Pet Sounds in pop culture, that record was massive. Inspired the Beatles, even Sgt. Pepper. I mean, there was a creative sound over there. I mean, when you think about that, and the infamous Wrecking Crew backed the Beach Boys on that. Hal Blaine, there's a lot of great stuff. I have a clip right here I want to share with you guys of Brian in the studio. Let's check it out really quick. There he is. You could tell a genius at work. Look at that. There's Hal Blaine.
Hal, let's go, man. Here we go. Play hard and strong all the way.
Oh, the sounds. Now, you know what's so crazy about that whole thing right there, everybody that's watching this? At the time of its release, Pet Sounds was considered a relative commercial flop and a critical failure. Think about that. Pretty crazy, huh? Crazy. In 2004, the Library of Congress National Recording Registry, due to its cultural historical, it was inducted in 2004. Just what it meant to the world. Well deserved. Let's check out more of this right here.
Well, let's hit real hard on that very last A flat after we were tasked with a second. Boom!
Oh, just the sounds of the Beach Boys right there. I mean, Wilson planned to follow up in the years after the release of Pet Sounds. Wilson briefly owned and operated a health food store. Pretty crazy. Radiant Radish, it was called. He continued to work with the band while struggling with drug and alcohol addiction in the 70s. The man nominated for 9 Grammy Awards, won twice as a solo artist. 3 nominations were with the Beach Boys. The Beach Boys also received an honorary Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award. The Beach Boys have never won a Grammy Award. Pretty wild. Wilson has suffered from fame, stress, depression, drug addiction, diagnosed with schizophrenia and disorder. Wilson had claimed his father was both mentally and physically abusive to him as a child. Rough. Let's see who's in the comments right here. Smile was such an incredible piece of music. Surf's Up was my favorite song. Thank you, Noslin 954. Thanks for being here. Those harmonies would bring a tear to my eye throughout my life, and today I'm letting them flow. Bucky, thank you for the comment. You keep going through your comments right there. There's a lot of Beach Boys songs that I love. I'm trying to think on the top. Don't Worry Baby, In My Room, Surf's Up, Wouldn't It Be Nice? Great song. The movie Shampoo, they played that. But God Only Knows was one of my favorites. Masterpiece of pop music. Just a great emotional song. Tell me which song touches you the most of the Beach Boys. Post it right here or in the comments after this. We have a good chat going on here. There's 228 people watching us. So thank you all for being here. And make sure if you have not, give us a thumbs up. It supports the channel and it supports the love for Brian here, and subscribe to this channel. Let me see who else we got here. Brandon, we posted this earlier. The Wilsons are back together. Brandon General, thanks for being here. Lewis, I won't try to pronounce it, but you know what? Thank you for your wishes to Brian right there. Seeing Brian at Glastonbury Festivals. Wow. I'm trying to remember when I was a kid seeing the Beach Boys if Brian was there, I think vaguely he was. It was about 79, and my family, I remember I wanted to see Kiss Dynasty, and I was so upset about it. But then when I went to see the Beach Boys, I was blown away from just the great pop music. They were America's band too for a long time. Every 4th of July, the Beach Boys in the 70s and 80s, they'd be on TV, and it'd be like they'd be playing the 4th of July on television. Those days are long gone, but I remember that. I wonder how Mike Love is feeling about this. You know, Beach Boys had a rocky relationship behind the scenes there. Really rocky. Crazy. But our condolences go out to the Beach Boys, the family. Hey, Miss Felony Strutter, my favorite in my room. Great song. You're dumb too. Thank you for all your content, Stefan. Really appreciate your time and effort keeping us informed. You're dumb too. I appreciate you being a long OG at this channel, and thank you for just being a loyal subscriber to us. We appreciate you more than you know. So thank you very much. But right now, RS, I love every song he wrote and the band performed. Yep. I agree. John B. Yeah, great song. Great song. Today's a sad day, man. Kimberly, thank you for being here. EM, hope he's at peace. Love. You know what? Tough life he had. Let's see what other videos we got here really quick. Telling Hal Blaine what to play right there on the drums and how to get the beats. I mean, a creative genius. What he was hearing in his mind. I have an interview with Don Randy from the Wrecking Crew, who has a story, and I have not released it. I did it a couple of years ago, and I will find that clip, and I'm going to release it, about him recording with Brian Wilson, how he fell asleep, Don, at the keyboards on a note on a Beach Boys track. I don't know the song on the top of my head, but Don tells us about this. Don Randy holding the note down, he fell asleep, and Brian turns around and says, Don, that was great. And Don didn't even know what he did. He just fell asleep with his hand on the keyboard, which is a funny story. But the Beach Boys, a legend, has passed away, everybody. It's a sad day. If you're tuning in right now, and Brian Wilson has passed away at the age of 82 years old. So it's a sad day in just rock and roll music. Classic. Brian's timeline. Let's see. I posted some stuff up here too as well for Brian, and a timeline of his life. It was pretty wild. In 1961, the summer, Brian, Dennis, and Carl, Mike Love, Al Jardine, they formed their band, the Pendletones. And then December 8, 61, the Beach Boys, now known as the Beach Boys, did their first hit single, Surfin'. July 16, 1962, the Beach Boys were signed to Capitol. October 1st, 1962, the Beach Boys released their first studio album, Surfin' Safari. And Brian, he written or co-writes 9 of the 12 tracks. Think about that. Back then, a lot of artists weren't writing their own music. 1964, after suffering a nervous breakdown, Wilson decides to quit touring with the Beach Boys. And Glenn Campbell actually initially fills in for Wilson while the band tours through the 60s. And then May 1966, the Beach Boys released their landmark album, Pet Sounds, right there. Let's see who's here right now with us. We'll continue this little timeline that I have here. 66, 67, Wilson begins writing and recording Smile, and the concept album to follow up Pet Sounds. 1974, the Rolling Stone magazine names the Beach Boys its Band of the Year. 1975, Brian goes to a rehab program. 1976, Brian performs for the first time in years at the Beach Boys' 15th anniversary concert. So that was August 5th, 1976. Wild. Let's see who's here with us. Chat with me. Do It Again. He covers it with his 2 daughters. That's right. Why upset over the Dynasty tour? I have both MSG shows recorded. Back then, I was upset because you're a kid. You know, you want to see Kiss. You didn't get it. But when I went to that Beach Boys concert, I was blown away. That's all I got to say. Blown away. Maybe let's listen to some of their songs now. I totally would put the songs here, but because of copyright strikes, we can only do 4 seconds. But make sure you guys listen to the Beach Boys and the works of Brian Wilson. I mean, you got geniuses, mad geniuses, like artists like Van Gogh. You have Mozart, and then there's Brian Wilson, pure genius of a man. Just a genius. January 20th, 1988, Wilson and the Beach Boys are inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. That was a big one. October 1991, Brian Wilson's autobiography, Wouldn't It Be Nice? My Own Story, written with Todd Gold, is published. Now, in 92, Wilson's cousin Mike Love, they filed a lawsuit. It was about Wilson's autobiography, but they settle out of court. So there's been a lot of drama behind the scenes with the family. 1999, Brian Wilson begins his first solo tour. Wow. March 2001, Elton John, Billy Joel, Paul Simon, David Crosby, Carly Simon, and others induct Wilson into the Songwriters Hall of Fame. And February 20th, 2004, 37 years after stopping production on Smile, Wilson performs the album at the Royal Festival Hall in London. Rolling Stone magazine has called Smile the most famous unfinished album in rock and roll history. August 20th, 2004, is an interview with CNN's Larry King. Wilson explains that he wasn't allowed to call family or friends at all for 9 years while he was under the care of Landy. That was the person he was in rehab with. Wow, what a life. What a life. The Brian Wilson passed away at the age of 82 years old. Okay. In the meantime, I am Stefan. You guys are all beautiful. I appreciate everybody here in the chat. I want you guys right now, post your comments in the chat. This is going to end right now. His family had just went to Instagram. We are heartbroken to announce that our beloved father, Brian Wilson, has passed away. We are at a loss for words right now. Please respect our privacy at this time as our family is grieving. We realize that we are sharing our grief with the world. Love and mercy. Lost for words, but Brian, thank you for the great music you have given me, the people watching, the love, the songs, and the memories that you've given us all. Thank you, sir. Rest in peace. I am Stefan. Make sure you click here and here for our next episode. Post your comments down below. Remember, who loves you, baby? We do. Until then, we'll catch you all later. Thanks for watching, and I appreciate everybody's comments right here. Thank you very much. First slide now, Brian Age is watching the people you love and respect their music pass. Absolutely. Absolutely. Everybody, thanks for being here. The sad day. I grew up Southern California in the 60s. Must have been a beautiful time. Okay, everybody. That's the news today in rock. We'll catch you all later. Thank you again for your time and your comments. Love and prayers go out to Brian's family. And of course, you, the fans. We'll see you all later.
Watch never stops.